Hey everybody. So about 1 year ago, I went on a train trip that literally changed my life. I was 2 weeks circling the entire country, leaving from this station here in the middle of Nebraska. I bought a 15-day rail pass through Amtrak, which lets you get 8 segments around anywhere you want in the country within those 15 days. And I decided to visit some major cities like Chicago. I went to Seattle. I went to Los Angeles. I cut across the deserts of Texas in the Southwest and ended up in New Orleans. I then went to up to DC and New York City and bringing us all the way back around to Nebraska. I saw more of this country than I ever thought I would. I saw way more than you would see flying on an airplane. I had such an amazing time meeting some great people and seeing some awesome sights in these different cities that I had no idea that I ever would have a chance to go do. So again, a real life-changing experience. I tried to film as much of this 2-week trip as I could to try and give some sort of an inkling for family and friends, kind of what I was up to, what I was doing, and how amazing the trip was. I'm really glad I did. Now, here's the problem. How has it been over a year and you've not even seen one video or evidence that I went on this thing other than a few pictures that I put up a year ago? Well, because a lot of things have happened, and if you don't want to hear me whining about this, go ahead and just go to this point in the video right here. That's the timestamp for it. Over the last year, I've learned a lot about video editing, audio editing, and all that kind of stuff like that. I didn't know anything really about how to do it intensely, like using the Premiere Pro and those kind of things, so I'm learning on the fly. So when I filmed it, I didn't really film the trip thinking in terms of how to edit it later. I lucked out and got a few good shots, which you'll see as it comes up. But when I came back home, I didn't have access to that software. That software was actually on my school computer. See, I'm a teacher, and I could maybe in the summer go to the school and use the high-end computers there and the programs and software there. Great, wonderful. The problem is this: when I came back home, I had a bunch of corrupted video files. Luckily, I backed them up on my brother's computer, one of my brothers that I visit on the trip, and about a third of all the videos I took of the entire 15-day trip were just gone. And so I had to wait and get some time to get them back from him. When those finally did come back, well, then the school year was in full swing, and I didn't have time anymore during the day. So I could only work on it outside of contract hours, and I only used any free time that I had, but I couldn't stay at school late because I'm also a full-time dad. So I really only had about an hour or two or 3 days a week after school. If I got lucky, I'd go spend a weekend afternoon. But really, so when you're working 3 to 4 or 5 hours maybe a week on some big videos like this, especially when you're just learning how to do it, any video editor can tell you it takes a long time to get one video done. This is going to be 13, 14, 15 videos long. So I didn't have a lot of time for it. And I wanted to be sure that I was releasing them like on a reliable schedule, more or less. So I didn't want to start releasing and then not have anything for a month and a half, 2 months. I wanted to make sure that I had a consistent enough release schedule. So I delayed and I waited. And things got busier. I'm a music teacher, so as the school year goes on, you've got more papers and more things and more concerts and things to worry about throughout the year. So you just get busy. I was finally making headway and getting into a routine of doing this stuff around March of this year, 2020, and all of a sudden, coronavirus hits. Just check out my hair. At the beginning of March, the schools shut down and I could no longer get into the school. I wasn't there regularly anymore, and pretty soon they cut off access to the school. So I didn't have access. All of my videos were on the computer at school. Everything was at school, and for about a month I had nothing. I couldn't do anything with it. And I didn't have enough finished videos to do anything with. Luckily, there came up an instance where I got to go into the school and work on something, and I asked if I could borrow the computer, bring it home, and sure enough, they let me do that. So I had the computer at home. Well, coupled with the fact I'm still teaching full-time from home, distance learning, virtual school stuff, as well as being a full-time dad, all that good stuff. Yada, 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 wine. Here it is, July, and I still have not released any videos yet. They are coming. They are on the way. So coming soon, I'm going to be releasing all these videos in a series that I'm calling The Great Train Loop. And I'm doing it on this new channel here that I've got called Flyover Country. The goal of this is to show people that you can travel in really unique, interesting ways, or see sites that maybe you didn't think you could, or go places you didn't know existed for not as much money as you'd think. If you're willing to be a little adventurous and think outside the box, you might find some things that are really pretty interesting, pretty close to where you are, or in an easily attainable way. So that's kind of what this is all about. These videos are going to be coming out pretty soon, so please keep an eye out for them. I think you'll enjoy seeing the things I did and the places I went. I will also tell you that they're not perfect. I've learned a lot about the video editing process as this has gone along, namely how to film with editing in mind. Also some interesting things about sound I've learned when filming. One of the big things that if I ever do this again is I'm probably not going to use a GoPro, and I'm probably going to use something with a better microphone. This microphone is not great, and there's a lot of sound issues you're going to hear. Hopefully I learned to kind of fix them as they go along. I learned how to be a better host as everything went along, learned how to edit better as we went along, so you'll see kind of through the series that hopefully things get a lot better as they go. My goal originally was to hopefully maybe make this into some sort of a series that I do, featuring different locations and places to go. By the time I had the videos done, I'd be able to go about doing different little weekend trips and things, but then of course coronavirus hit. No one's going anywhere right now, so we'll see what happens in the future. I'd really like this to be a thing, but in the meantime, please go ahead and watch, enjoy these videos when they come up, and thanks again for all your support and interest and everything that's been going on. I hope you enjoyed the videos. Thanks guys for watching.